Good evening. Good economic news as the nation's leading economic indicators showed continued improvements during the month of July. President Carter has asked West Germany's Helmut Schmidt to do all that he can to settle the strikes in Poland, and Governor Ray has taken off for the People's Republic of China to drum up new markets for Iowa goods. Details next on News 5. Join us.
You're on 5 TV. And this is News 5.
Good evening from News 5. I'm Rick Taylor. Deborah Cutter is on vacation. Some bright news on the economic scene tonight. The government's leading index of economic indicators shot up by almost 5% during July. Many economists say they could mean faster relief from the recession than once thought, maybe before the end of the year. More in a report from Dan Courts.
Sharp slowdown in the rate of factory layoffs was the biggest single reason for the overall rise. Dan Courts, ABC News, Washington.
One important indicator of Iowa's economy is the increase in raw farm prices. Those prices rose nearly 4% in August, setting a record for the second month in a row. Higher market prices for hogs, cattle, corn, eggs, potatoes, and soybeans have pulled prices up more than 7.5% over last year's August prices. Most of the increase is due to the drought conditions, which trouble large sections of the Southwest. But while the weather raised prices in the markets, it also increased production prices for farmers. Those figures are up 13% over that of last year. Governor Ray left on a trip to mainland China today as part of a move toward opening trade relations between Iowa and the People's Republic. Ray is traveling with the Iowa trade delegation, but before leaving, he said the success of opening trade relations may have been hampered somewhat by some recent conflicting remarks by Ronald Reagan and George Bush concerning China and Taiwan.
It's created a lot of flap, and whether it's justified or not, that's beside the point. We're going there on an economic mission, and we think we've got some products that are made in Iowa that they can use in China, and they would be wise to buy from us. And of course, from our point of view, that means more jobs, more job opportunities right here. So I'm not going there on any kind of a diplomatic mission or a political mission, and I hope that that won't interfere with what we're there to do.
Ray and the Iowa delegation will be in China for 15 days. The Chinese have asked to be given technical assistance on producing some consumer items. Ray is hoping the mission will bring about new markets for Iowa products, even though the Chinese have reacted strongly to those remarks made by Reagan concerning Taiwan. A key Polish strike leader tonight says workers in the government may have begun to understand each other, and he told delegates from 500 Polish factories their demand for free trade unions had been nearly agreed to by the government. More from Jacques Grenier from ABC.
A lot of people across Poland were with the Lenin shipyard strikers today. Many of them expressed their sympathy by walking off their jobs. Jacques Grenier, ABC News, Warsaw.
It's beginning to be referred to as the debating game, with disagreement over who will debate whom and when. John Anderson today accepted an invitation from the National Press Club to meet with both President Carter and Ronald Reagan for one-on-one debates. But Carter says that he wants to debate first and only with Ronald Reagan. And Reagan says that he won't debate Carter unless John Anderson is there. So it goes. Well, win or lose an election, a campaign costs money, lots of it. And News 5's Chris Abel reports nowadays people are pledging less money to candidates, but they're expecting more from the candidates.
These faces may be familiar, but the money you give to support these politicians is becoming less recognizable. At this point, both Culver and Grassley have raised about $1 million for their Senate fight. But leaders on both sides admit that the best money manager could be our next U.S. Senator. Chris Abel, News 5, Des Moines.
Labor Day is traditionally the opening day for election campaigning, but Iowa's two candidates for the U.S. Senate got started just a little bit early. Democratic incumbent John Culver urged voters in Anamosa to compare his record on defense issues to that of his opponent, Republican Representative Charles Grassley. In Waterloo, Grassley accepted the endorsement of veterans of foreign wars and pledged his support for cost-effective spending on defense. And speaking of Labor Day, the Highway Patrol is beefing up its endorsement this holiday weekend, so slow down, stay alert, and we'll have a lot more news when we come back. Chiropractors in the state of Iowa are concerned that their image may be damaged by this week's hearing into the conduct of two chiropractors at the Centers for Natural Healing. A Des Moines chiropractor says people too often judge an entire profession based on what he called the low man on the totem pole. The hearing has revolved around the deaths of 2 children last spring. Police in Des Moines say their facilities are badly in need of repair, and those improvements could cost millions of dollars. But Joanne Merrigan tells us in this report that the improvements may come about regardless of the cost.
Police station was built in 1918. Back then, the staff was just over 100 people. Joanne Merrigan, News 5, Des Moines.
Well, despite these dog days of summer, autumn is just around the corner, and then snow-covered highways and freezing temperatures not that far behind. The Labor Day holiday is about the last time most of us have to get away from it all, at least for a while. But take your time getting there, or it may backfire. More in a report from John McCrary.
The Highway Patrol will be out in force this weekend, and they will be enforcing the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. John McCrary, News 5, along Interstate 35.
Going into the holiday weekend, Ron Jackson has our weather.
I take it you don't like cold weather.
Oh, I love cold weather. That's why I moved back.
From where?
I'm not insane
Orlando,
totally.
right.
I like the snow.
Well, it looks like a partly cloudy weekend coming up. Change of pace here. And temperatures in the mid-80s are expected.
Okay, no snow inside.
I don't think so.
Okay, Ron will have all the weather in just a moment.
Pleasant good evening, everyone. A very sunny day in the state of Iowa, but things are going to change as the clouds look like they're going to roll in the Labor Day weekend, and temperatures are going to drop about 10 degrees from what we saw today. Afternoon high temperatures here they are, mostly in the upper 80s in the northern part of the state, 88 at Spencer as well as Mason City, and a little bit warmer in the southern part, especially in the southwestern part of Iowa, as temperatures are around the 90 to 92 degree range. For tonight in Iowa, a chance of thunderstorms northwest and central tonight. Clear and warm in the eastern portion with an overnight low in the mid-60s. For tomorrow, partly cloudy with widely scattered thunderstorms south and east, highs anywhere between 75 to 85 degrees. For Des Moines and Ames tonight, partly cloudy with about a 20% chance of thunderstorms. Later on this evening, an overnight low in the mid-60s. For Saturday, partly cloudy with occasional showers, and thunderstorms are likely once again, a high in the mid-80s. For Saturday night, partly cloudy with about a 30% chance of thunderstorms, an overnight low about 63 degrees. And for Sunday, mostly cloudy with occasional showers and thunderstorms, a high of 86 degrees. I hate to ruin your Labor Day weekend like that.
You can't, regardless of the weather. You can't ruin my weekend.
I got to work anyway. So.
Thank you, Ron. Have a good one yourself. The final game of the World Series will be played tomorrow, Little League style. Ed Moore will have details when we come back. Ed Moore is here. A lot in sports going on.
Tennis right at the top with Jimmy Connors and John McEnroe winning today, and also Andrea Jaeger. And the second-seeded woman in the U.S. Open Tennis Championship, Martina Navratilova, continued to struggle with her early round matches today. Martina was pushed to 3 sets for the second day in a row. Should be a good contest tomorrow.
Indeed it will. Back in just a moment.